I constantly get questions if wire wheels are okay for sugar gliders, and more so people telling me that they aren't. I want to preface by saying that this is not actually a wire wheel. Wire wheels are actually safe for sugar gliders, certain ones that are custom made, but this is actually a plastic type of mesh. This is what I prefer to use. It's a little bit cheaper, but there are like stainless steel, I think, wire options that are really good for chewing sugar gliders. And I kind of want to show you guys how a sugar glider runs on their wheel. They're not like hamsters or other mammals who run. If you know sugar gliders and their anatomy, that's not really what they're suited for. In fact, every time they walk, they kind of look a little bit awkward. So that being said, sugar gliders use their wheel to hop more than they do run. Piglet is honestly not great with the wheel, but he's the only one that likes to come out when it's bright. So he's going to be demonstrating, even though he's a pretty terrible example. So as you can see, the little holes in the mesh is actually what helps them grip. A lot of people worry about something like bumblefoot, which is a huge concern in hamsters, but in sugar gliders, they're actually more like birds than they are other small mammals. They do completely fine on wire and wire floors because they don't really keep their feet flat like that very much. They actually prefer, can you come up? Can you come up all the way? I don't know if he'll demonstrate, but they actually prefer to kind of hold on to surfaces like this, kind of like how a bird does. So things like bumblefoot aren't really a concern. The issue with solid track wheels for sugar gliders is one, they pee and poop while they run, so they do get extremely messy, but also there's pretty much no grip for them. They can kind of just walk, maybe slightly run at a slight pace, but they can't really do all these jumps and acrobatics that they can on a mesh wheel like this. I also love these wheels, even though they are quite a bit more expensive than like the Exotic Nutrition Silent Spinner, which I'm pretty sure is the only fairly safe wheel out there. It's not completely safe because of the way the back is, and a lot of people have had issues with it, but just as many people haven't had issues, so make your own choice on that. The great thing about this wheel opposed to that is, again, sugar gliders aren't like hamsters who run miles in the wild. They kind of just have a lot of energy, and a wheel is a way for us to provide enrichment and just another way for them to outlet their energy. In saying that, they're not going to use their wheel continuously all through the night like something like a hamster or a hedgehog or a gerbil. Instead, they run on it periodically and they more so play on it. For example, my boys love to go on top of the wheel, inside the wheel. Sometimes one person will sit on top while another person runs on it. So it's more of a toy than it is really a wheel. And when you have a flat wheel, there's really no other way for them to use it besides running in it. I just want to say that these types of wheels are custom made for sugar gliders from sugar glider owners. There wasn't anything on the market that really satisfied the needs like these wheels do. So people started experimenting, and these are pretty much tried and true designs. That is really what sugar gliders should have. Now, these types of wheels, there's a couple different models. There's Freedom wheels, there's Stealth wheels, Raptor wheels. This is the custom cruiser wheel. They pretty much all kind of have the same design with the mesh, and these are all completely safe sugar glider wheels. Another thing I get asked about, which, can you please still demonstrate? Also, I know the cage is really empty. I'm in the middle of setting it up. But another thing I get asked about is why it's like, looks like it's broken when it spins, or it's a little bit off kilter. That's because that's very specific to the custom cruiser wheel. As you can see, the bearing is not really in the center, which makes it a little bit lopsided. But this is just a way that it's even more fun for the sugar gliders, and it's actually a way that exercises them a little bit harder. This is a model that's really good if you have slightly chunky sugar gliders. So even though it kind of looks like it's broken, that's what it's supposed to be like. So yeah, that's just my little spiel on wire wheels. I do have an entire video all about safe sugar glider wheels. I highly recommend watching it because it touches on a lot of things like different KT silent spinners, exotic nutrition wheels, why you might not want to buy the Freedom wheel, and different things like that. I hope you guys can see that these types of wheels are completely safe for sugar gliders. I do appreciate the concern because I know that you guys are just worried about the animal, but I do think that it comes from a little bit of place of misunderstanding because obviously sugar gliders aren't the normal pet, and most people when they say wire wheels assume that it's bad. So here's just my little PSA that these are the types of wheels that your sugar glider should be having. Oh, and here's a quick example of them both using it at the same time. Piglet is running, and then the little Cremino glider named Camo, he's just sitting along. Are you gonna get on too, Cow? Are you gonna get on, Bubba's?